So what kind of life then helps make others glad in God? Psalm 63 says, "The steadfast love of the Lord is better than life." And so I think the answer is, if you really believe that, if it's gone down to your heart, and you can say from the heart, the steadfast love of the Lord is better than life, you're going to live a life that looks like it makes God that valuable. More valuable than anything else in life. So it really has to do with whether your heart is so in love with God that He is more precious than all that life can give. And the life that's going to produce is that you're going to give to the winds your fears. You're going to take risks for God. You're going to wind up rejoicing in the plundering of your property for Jesus' sake, it says in Hebrews 10. You're going to count reproach for the Christ more valuable than all the treasures of Egypt, Moses said. You're going to endure the cross for the joy that was set before you, and you're going to go with Him outside the camp, bearing abuse for Him. That's the kind of liberty from comfort and security that comes with saying and believing the steadfast love of the Lord is better than life. You know, Jesus said more about money than He did about heaven and hell combined. Unless you renounce everything you have, you cannot be my disciple. One thing you lack, rich man, sell what you have, give to the poor, and come follow me. It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven. The man who built bigger barns, this night, fool, your soul will be required of you. And on and on. Don't lay up for yourselves treasures on earth. Lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. He said more about money than He did about heaven and hell, because where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So why do we have money? Money is God's idea. What's it for? Here's the reason we have money. We have money to use it in such a way that we show that money is not our God, but God is our God. That's why we have money. Money is given to us to use it in a way to show the world that money is not our treasure, but Christ is our treasure. What this leads to is what I like to call a wartime lifestyle. I don't like the phrase simple lifestyle because it's more complex than that. The goal is not to just kind of move out into the country and plant your own vegetables. The goal is to use what God has made, even if it is a B-52 bomber in order to win the Second World War, or a computer in order to engage in missions. It's not a simple lifestyle, it's a wartime lifestyle where your whole mindset is, I have resources for one basic, glorious purpose, to magnify the worth of God in the world, not to show that I value things more than I value God. And so a wartime lifestyle is absolutely crucial. One of my biggest concerns is that young people consider it to be cool to follow Jesus and die for Jesus, instead of thinking it's cool to have their own credit card. This is not cool to have your own credit card and to not have any time, any love, any heart for Jesus. I love to read history, and when I read the book Flags of Our Fathers, which is the story of the Battle of Iwo Jima, and I read of the heroics of the young men. 6,800 American boys are buried on Iwo Jima, a little island in the South Pacific, about 8 miles square. 21,000 Japanese died there. We cleaned the whole island in order to create an airstrip to go toward Japan. And when they landed, and these 6,000 were just mowed down within a matter of days, there were incredible, stunning, amazing acts of courage and bravery. And here's one. Ray Dollins flew a Corsair, from these planes and was strafing the beach to prepare for the Amtraks that were bringing the soldiers in. They dropped down their fronts, they'd wade through the water, get up onto the beach and be mowed down. He was trying to minimize that loss. And he was hit by the Japanese fire, and he realized his crashing Corsair was about to plow right into his own soldiers on the Amtrak. And he saw that there might be one maneuver he could do, so he flipped his plane upside down and crashed, losing only his own life and not the others. And here's the catch. The generals, I suppose, the admirals, whatever you call them, were on the boats listening to the radio. And they could hear Ray Dollins. And as he crashed, he was singing, "Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a terrible feeling. Everything's coming my way." And when I read that, I thought, that's cool. That's courage. That's magnificent. That's beautiful. This is not cool. Worrying about your hair is not cool. How you're dressed is not cool. It's a waste. And so I just have this tremendous burden that whether you're young or whether you're old, you get a grip that the world is in a worse condition than anything about World War II. And the feats of bravery and courage and risk should be so much greater for Christ than they were for the cause of America in the Second World War. So whether you're young or whether you're old, my plea is don't waste your life on trivial things like this. Commit acts of great bravery and courage by taking risks to make others glad in God and to show that Jesus Christ is more precious than life. Father, grant, I pray, that Christ would stand forth from your word and from history and from heaven in such a way that young people, older people would be stabbed broad awake by his glory and realize that they're wasting their lives when they spend mental energy and emotional energy trying to look just right or listen to the right kind of music or have just the right friends. Those are so small compared to what you mean for us to live for. So grant us to have eyes to see so that we don't waste our lives. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.